Merv, congratulations. A thrilling win here on that famous old stage. How does that feel?
Yeah, it felt okay. Started great, fell asleep in the middle, and then sort of woke up at the end.
That first session was some of the best darts we've seen you throw on TV for a long time. That must feel pleasing to know the game's still there.
The game was always there. Whether it comes out or not is a different matter. If Merv King turns up, Merv King wins. If Merv King doesn't turn up, Merv King watches. So, you know, I'm getting long in the tooth, old in the tooth now, and it's harder to concentrate sometimes. If I can get totally focused on what I'm doing, that's what happens in the early part of the session. When I come out after that, my first dart was very poor, it was landing low. And the harder I tried, it sort of spread a little bit, so I'm telling myself to just leave it, that'll come back, don't worry about it, and just carry on. And it did, it came back nicely, but mate, this stage is like no other. And to win on this stage in front of this crowd is absolutely brilliant.
Was leg 11 the turning point of the game? Nathan was on a charge and you produced an absolute stunning 160 finish to break him.
It wasn't bad, was it? You know, I looked at that and I thought, if he gives me a chance here, I quite fancy this. And the first dart went as sweet as a nut, and I thought, that's it, it's gone. As soon as that first one went in, and I thought, don't snatch the last dart, just throw it properly over the top of the fly. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it go in the double. So when I let it go, I thought, yeah, that's one of them that feels like it's going to go in. And unfortunately, it did.
Obviously, Nathan made his debut here. He's been in some great form this year. Do you think maybe the occasion and the stage got the better of him for the first time?
Don't think so. I mean, the lad played well. I think I shocked him in the first session. I think that sort of, yeah, I think I shocked him a little bit. He played some excellent darts in the second session. I don't know whether that was a case of me letting him or whether he was going to do that anyway, but he done what he done. I come back after the second session and maybe a little bit nervous. I don't know. You'll have to ask Nathan that. I really don't know. Was
that always your game plan, to get into him early and to test him?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. But I certainly didn't intend to let him get back at me to level the match at 5-all. I was looking at 3-2, 3-2 to go 6-4 up with the first two seconds. So to come out at 5-all was a little bit, alright, okay, you're going to have to up your ante now again. Go back to what you were doing in the first. Not that I changed anything, but it's just the way it goes sometimes, you know.
Everyone's talked about this Matchplay being the best lineup we've ever seen, and you're obviously a veteran of the Matchplay now. Is this the best lineup you've ever played in?
I would have to say no. We're missing Phil Taylor, we're missing Barney, which in my eyes are two of the greatest players to ever have graced the stage on any tournament. And when you're missing them, then in my eyes it can't be the greatest lineup ever. It's very strong, and we could have a winner that you wouldn't expect, but I wouldn't say this is the greatest lineup we've ever had.
Next up for you, it's either Gary Anderson or Danny Rocker. Any preference which one you play?
No, don't care, bring them on.
No, absolute pleasure, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate, thank you.
Sorry, just one more moment. Just momentum-wise, that 160 was a real turning point. Obviously, to go in 4-1 at the break, I mean, to get a great start was great.
The 160 was a big point of giving him a kick at the backside to say, I'm not going away. You might have made it 5-all, but I'm still here.
Just finally, we all know how hot it can be up on that stage. So
yeah.
4-1 at the break, I mean, you put in Aspen on the back foot. That must have been a game plan for you.
As I said, it was I wanted to win the first two sessions, one against the darts to win 3-2, and then 3-2 with the darts. And when they're sitting at 5-all, that's not what I had in mind. So I thought I was quite good in what I've done to refocus myself and at the break and come out and finish him off. Well done.